Hello and welcome to episode 97 of Rivers Arcade Review. My name is Ed. My channel is dedicated to the coin-operated video games of yesteryear. Today I'll be reviewing a game from my past, Kung Fu Master. Kung Fu Master was released in 1984 by Irem and licensed to Data East. My first time playing this game was at Laredo Lanes in Chicago, Illinois. Kung Fu Master is a side-scrolling fighting game in which you control your fighter with a 4-way joystick and 2 buttons, one to punch and one to kick. You need to guide Thomas, your fighter, through 5 levels of enemies. Each floor will have a series of enemies throughout the floor as well as a boss at the end of each level. The game begins with the ransom note being displayed on screen stating your girlfriend has been kidnapped and you need to go to Devil's Temple to save her. Also, the 5 sons of the devil will entertain you. Once the letter disappears, the battle will begin. You'll begin on the right side of level 1 and need to make your way to the left. You'll begin each life with 2,000 units on the bonus timer. The timer will decrease 1 unit approximately every 7/100ths of a second. You need to finish the level before the timer runs out or you will lose a life. Once the level begins, you will immediately be confronted by the elite fighters. These fighters will be wearing purple vests and will be unarmed, although they are not harmless. These enemies will attempt to grab onto you, draining your health. If they grab onto you, you need to move the joystick quickly left and right to break their grip. If they hold onto you too long, your energy will drain completely and you will lose a life. You can knock these enemies off the floor by either punching or kicking them. Your character has 3 types of attacks. Your first attack is the standing attack, in which you punch or kick while either moving or standing still. The second is the crouching attack, in which you punch or kick while crouching down, and the third is the jump attack, in which you jump and either punch or kick before landing. Kicking the enemies will be the easiest because you have the greatest reach toward them, although punching these enemies will require you to be closer, but the scoring will be higher. The second enemy you will face will be the knife thrower. This enemy will be dressed in light blue with a white belt and headband. Once this enemy appears on screen, he will stand stationary, although he will follow you if you move away from him. Occasionally he will throw a knife at you. Sometimes he will throw the knife high and sometimes low. You need to avoid these knives because they cannot be blocked or destroyed. This enemy will require 2 hits to knock him off the floor. Once you reach the far left of the level, you will face the first boss. This boss will be armed with a bow staff. The boss will swing the staff in order to knock you off the floor. You need to hit this enemy 6 times in order to knock him off the floor. You need to do this while having your energy reach 0. If you lose to this or any other enemy, you need to begin at the beginning of the level. After beating the boss, you need to climb the stairs to make it to the next level. After climbing the stairs, you will receive points for whatever time is left on the clock. You will also earn points for whatever is remaining on your strength meter. The second level will begin with items falling from the ceiling. The first item you will face will be the clay pots. You need to kick these pots to destroy them or they will fall downward, and if they hit the ground, a snake will appear on the floor. These snakes will chase you down and must be jumped because once they appear, they cannot be destroyed. The second item you'll face will be a yellow ball with a red and blue colored cross on it. Similarly to the pots, you can kick these before they hit the ground, although it isn't as easy to do as the pots. Once the balls hit the ground, a dragon will appear. These dragons breathe fire before disappearing. You can destroy these dragons for points before they disappear. The third item you'll face will be the floating globes. These globes are colored with red, yellow, green, and purple spots. The globes will float for about 3 seconds before exploding. Once the globes explode, 3 colored diamonds will appear. The diamonds will fly downward in 3 directions. One will fly straight down and the others will fly at an angle in opposite directions. You need to avoid these diamonds or you'll lose energy. It is possible to destroy the floating globes with a jump, kick, or punch. Once you pass the falling objects, you will face the elite fighters and knife throwers once again, although there will be a new enemy you will face. These fighters will be shorter than the other fighters. You can't defeat these enemies with a standing punch or kick. You need to either do a crouching punch or kick to defeat these enemies. These short fighters will be able to jump upward and land on you, causing you damage. Making it to the end of the second floor will bring you to the next boss. This boss will be wearing green and will be armed with boomerangs. This boss will be throwing up to 2 boomerangs at a time at you. Just like traditional boomerangs, they will fly back at him so it can damage you twice. You need to hit this boss 6 times to defeat him, just like the previous boss. Just like before, after defeating the boss, you need to climb the steps to get to the next level. Between levels 2 and 3, there will be a cutscene in which your girlfriend says, "Help me, Thomas," and you respond by, "I'm coming right away, Sylvia." Level 3 will consist of all 3 types of enemies for the entire floor. Once you make it past the regular enemies, you will face the third boss. This boss will consist of a large bald enemy wearing yellow pants. This boss will require 7 hits to beat. Once again, after you beat this boss, you need to climb the stairs to advance to the next level. Level 4 will begin with a new enemy, the Deadly Moth. These moths are red and yellow and must either be punched or kicked, or you must avoid them. Due to the randomness of the flight, it is difficult to destroy these enemies, so it is best to just avoid them. Once you pass the moths, you will face all 3 fighters once again until you make it to the boss. This boss is a wizard and is even harder to defeat than the previous 3 bosses. The wizard is impervious to headshots because if you hit his head, the head will fly off, although he will not take any damage. If you knock off his head, he will disappear temporarily and will reappear and grow another head. You need to hit the wizard in the body area to cause damage. In addition to being able to grow another head, he will also be able to create a duplicate of himself. The duplicate will be able to damage your fighter, although if you hit the duplicate in the body, you will cause him damage just like if he was the original. The wizard will throw fireballs at you to cause you damage. Occasionally one of these fireballs will explode and become a flying dragon that will fly back at you to try to cause you more damage. You need 5 body hits to destroy this wizard. Once again, you need to climb the stairs to make it to the next level. Clearing level 4 will bring you to another cutscene, although it is identical to the one after level 2. Level 5 will consist of the same 3 fighters as before. You will battle these fighters throughout the entire level. After facing all the fighters, you will face the final boss, Mr. X. Mr. X is good at blocking your shots and will quickly recover his energy if you make a successful hit. Beating Mr. X will allow you to advance to your girlfriend. Once you reach your girlfriend, you will get the following message. After the message, the game will continue at a harder difficulty, including fighting the warriors during the boss battle. Scoring for the game is as follows. You will earn 100 points for kicking an elite fighter and 200 points for punching them, although you receive 200 points for kicking a second fighter if you can kick 2 at once. You will receive 200 points for kicking a short warrior and 300 points for punching them. You will receive 500 points for kicking a knife thrower and 800 points for punching them. Since it takes 2 hits to knock out a knife thrower, the second hit will determine the score no matter what the first attack was. You will earn mystery points for kicking and punching the Dragon Balls and clay pots. The points you earn will be displayed when they are destroyed. You will earn 500 points for kicking the moths and 600 points for punching them. You will earn 1,000 points for destroying the floating globes and 2,000 points for destroying the fire-breathing dragons. You will earn 2,000 points for defeating the first boss, 3,000 points for defeating the second and third bosses, 5,000 points for defeating the 4th boss, and 10,000 points for defeating the final boss. I was never a fan of this game due to the difficulty, although I can't condemn it due to my lack of ability of playing it, so I still recommend playing it whether in an arcade or on an emulator. I like this game more than Asteroids, but not as much as Jump Coaster, so Kung Fu Master fights its way into the 82nd position overall.
Thanks for watching, I hope you enjoyed it. If you have any games you'd like me to review, please leave a message below or on my homepage. Please remember to like, share, and subscribe, and stay tuned to new videos every Wednesday and Sunday.